Hey kids, Dad here. So today I've been really focused on the past couple days. What I mean is that I've been struggling to understand what it is that I'm wired to do, what I'm driven to do, what I'm most aptly capable to do. Easier terms, simpler terms would be I'm struggling to identify how I can use my God-given gifts, things that come naturally to me without having to think too much about it, without having to develop them uh, and develop them further. For example, God's given me the ability to talk. Never really had to take a speech class or learning how to present. I've just put in positions where I've started to lead people, I've started to talk, and I've naturally developed a cadence, learning how to talk in front of others, learning how to go out there. Now, throughout my years, I've developed that skill by how to actually talk to strangers with a purpose, right? And like that. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm going everywhere right now, and I just finished working out. See, even now, I want to stop the video because I'm not confident at this moment of you seeing me like this. It's not a version I want to portray, but it's a real version that I want you to see, because indecision can hit you at any age. 34 now, hit me when I was 28, hit me when I was 26 before. Prior to that, the only time I really felt indecisive was in my early 20s and late teens when I was in college. And it usually happens, I think for most people, at the end of a chapter. You're ending high school, you're ending college, you're about to enter the new workforce, you're ending a relationship, whatever's going on, right? You're ending your first job. This transition period causes you to question yourself. If you don't take the time to answer that question, like what's next? What's the next chapter? What's the next book? You might just try and read that same page a little slower, very slow, so you can make sure the words hold on and you never run out of things to read. Running out that same story. It's where burnout happens, where anxiety happens, that's where unfulfillment lies. Trying to live out that same story. And I find that a lot of people, A, have never even started the book, B, are still in that chapter, or C, ended the book and are kind of stuck in the library trying to decide which book they choose, and the library's endless and huge, they don't know. In either example, right, in A, B, or C, you need a guide to help you. Now, in business, you can hire a mentor. In fitness, you can hire a coach. But in life, it's still tough. Who can coach you in life? There are life coaches, there's different friends you have, but none of these people have the real insight into you, and they may not be able to give you the actual answer you're looking for. That's where give it up to God, because He knows you in and out, left and right, up and down. He knows what you're thinking before He even says it, but He wants you to say it. He wants you to come to Him. And this is where I am right now. I was talking with your mom yesterday, and I struggle to really voice what I want to God, even though He knows what I want, because there's some part in me that believes that I'm still capable of improving my life, that with my two hands I can do these things. I don't necessarily need God, even though I do need God, because every time I've asked God for help, every time I've pleaded and I've been on my knees for God, I've gotten help. But I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to go through that pain again, suffer that. It hurts. It's not fun. It's not easy. I want to figure out a way to avoid that pain and just go right to having God help me. And maybe by shortcutting that, I'm missing something. And I'm scared. I don't want to go through the pain. I don't know what pain it is. And maybe it's not the same type of pain. Maybe it's not the same pain I huddle to my knees and I cry about. But it's something that I know has to happen. I know I have to fully trust God. How? I think I'm going to find out. When? Hope nothing. I don't know. But I know that God has the answer. And I know that when I do things and try and make my life better, it happens to a marginal degree. But when I try and pursue another avenue and I have no way of getting there, God usually makes it happen. It just presents things and they come to me. It's really weird. Things come to me when I set a goal that's aligned with what He wants. It comes. When I set a goal that's not aligned with what He comes, there's financial hardship. There's as I'm talking, this insight happens. So it's interesting. Moral of the story is, when you're in doubt, when you're anxious about your future, you don't know what you're calling, what you're watching, what you're passionate about, take time, ask God, truly ask God, God, how can I use the gifts you've given me to benefit you, to benefit my life, to benefit my family? Because when you approach it from that manner, when you approach using your gifts that He's given to you, the ones you don't have to work for, I believe that He's going to put you in positions, in roles, in communities and groups that will allow you to feel fulfilled, to work in your passions, and to do work that you're wired to do. I love you, kids.